I'm good. How fun is this, right?
Hi, everybody. How you doing? It's been a while.
It's been a little while.
When was it?
You've been kind of busy. What have you been doing?
You know, making stuff and
Becoming a massive movie star. I'm so proud of you, dude. I'm so proud of you, man. It's awesome. And thank you, by the way, for coming back. You were so slammed. You have such a crazy schedule. He went out of his way, him and his entire team were like, how can we carve this out? And you did, and I love you for it, buddy. Thank you. And they love you for it as well.
Thank you so much. You know, like, the last time I was here was one of the highlights of Comic-Con. It was 3 years ago, I think.
Yeah, Pecco. Yeah. You were a velociraptor.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
It's still one of the greatest moments I've ever been a part of. That and you impersonating me and Chris Evans. That was a lot of fun. Yes, question right there.
So it's super exciting to have you back at Nerd HQ. I actually got the chance to see you in 2013, but I looked a little different because I was all painted blue.
Oh, I remember you. Yeah. Hi.
I remember you. Hello.
Hi. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Thanks for coming back.
My pleasure.
My question, you've been doing incredible movies, especially over these last 3 years, but not as much theater that we've seen. Do you have any plans to go back? And if so, what would you like to do as your theater comeback?
That's a great question. Thank you. It's interesting. It was while I was doing Coriolanus, which I think I did after. Thank you. Wow. My goodness. A lot of people in here saw that show. During the run of that show was when I decided to do Crimson Peak, High Rise, and I Saw the Light. So I made those 3 films immediately after that, and then it's just that things come up and you can't say no to them in a way. So around that same time, I met with the producers of The Night Manager and decided to do that. And then got asked to be in a King Kong movie, and that's a huge privilege as an actor. So there are plans, and I do have some. I'm not going to tell you what they are.
I mean, is there a dream role? Is there a role that you have yet to play, or even a role that you've played before that you'd like to revisit?
Well, honestly, there are so many, and I think if you're lucky, you have a long life and that you get a chance to touch, maybe not even the roles, but some of the plays, some of the truly great plays, and maybe you don't play the young, you don't get to play the younger parts, but perhaps you get to play the middle-aged parts or the older parts.
Yeah.
I don't think these things are ever planned, but I do. The theater is a great love of mine. It remains such, and of course I'll be back at some point. Question is when.
Do you want to pick him, or do you want me to pick him?
It's pressure. Yeah.
I mean, it is your panel.
Okay. I'm going to go with you, sir, in the cap. Yeah.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
First of all, thank you for coming out to do this. I know you had a very busy schedule this weekend. Can you talk, obviously you take on several different roles. Can you talk a little bit about your preparation for each role?
Well, I suppose my preparation is that it's really completely different depending on the project. It's sometimes, the most important thing is to try to align myself with the tone. Basically try and find the tone of the piece and sync up with what that is. When I made Crimson Peak, for example, I asked Guillermo del Toro to give me a lot of the books that had inspired him to write that screenplay and design the film the way he had. So I wanted to understand the world of his imagination so I could connect myself to it. It's usually about reading and reading around the idea of the film, the story, the character, and slowly you get ideas about things. You think, there's something I can connect to. But inspiration comes from the strangest places.
Music is a big one for you too.
Yeah, music is big when you get on set. when you're in a scene, because everybody on set has a very necessarily practical energy. They're operating machinery, they're moving lights, they're electricians, they are carpenters, they are sound recordists, and sometimes you have to be in an emotional headspace that's very different from the space that you're in, and music can be very helpful, whether it's dramatic or light or emotional, and so yeah, that's...
What was that techno stuff you were listening to when on Thor? You were actually, it might have even been, I visited the set of the first Thor. It was the first time I met you, and you were sitting in your chair, and you had your earbuds in, and you were literally just like, like there was something that was going on. I don't even know what the scene was, and I was like, dude, he is in it right now.
Listen, I still play it. I was on the set of Thor Ragnarok 3 days ago. See you there.
How's that going? Oh, stop it.
Chris Hemsworth and Mark Ruffalo and Tessa Thompson were all rocking out. Taika Waititi appreciated the musical contribution. It's Poison by Prodigy. That's my Loki song. So there you go.
Nice. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, in the red. Hi.
I met all these lovely ladies, and they agreed to help me out with this.
Wait, you just all met right now?
Yeah, we just met in line.
I love that.
I love them. I literally was going to cry when they told me they were going to help. But I wanted to donate this for Operation Smile.
Yeah.
As well as the little guys that they're holding up.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm holding one, sorry.
Oh, there's another one. They just keep multiplying.
Yeah. And I also
Like
have,
gremlins. Don't get wet.
And I also have this one that's unfinished. I remember you did that thing where you drew one, and I was like, maybe you can color the rest of it and do something for UNICEF or... Yeah.
Okay, great.
Like half one.
Well,
But-
why don't you, if you don't mind, just hand those to a volunteer, and we'll sign those things up. We can auction those off. Thanks, Tom, and thank you. That's very sweet.
I met you in Philly, actually. You're on my pants. We were like laughing.
Those were two separate thoughts, right?
You. Oh my gosh, you signed. I had the big thing and you signed it.
Oh, he signed your
Yeah, you
pants.
signed-
Okay.
You signed a piece of artwork. I feel like I have to specify. You signed a piece
Yes,
of
you
paper.
absolutely have to
And the
specify.
paper got put on the pants. I feel like, well, I'm not that kind of person. But anyway. Oh my gosh, I'm a teacher. I'm sorry. All right.
Your students are gonna love watching this. This is fantastic.
Oh my. So since you're getting back into Thor, I have a really interesting Loki question for you. If Loki had the opportunity to go back to himself in the first Thor, or even in the Avengers film, and either change his decision or do something differently, what would he do? Or would he change it? Or would he give himself any advice? I wanted to ask you this, and I totally choked, so woo!
I had to really think about that now. I mean, right now, as far as you guys know, he's in a pretty good spot. I mean, he made it. He got what he wanted, which is the throne. So he's fine, you know? If that was his objective, he managed to achieve that, you know? Maybe he could have done it by faster means, I suppose. Yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting question to think whether that will ever be enough. But yeah, you'll get to see what happens next.
Next question.
In the glasses, just there. Yeah, hi.
You were so blown away right now. Oh my God, he said me.
I was not expecting that. Okay. I have...
Must have been expecting it a little bit because you put your hand up. Like the odds were in your favor.
I have two quick questions. The first is, with all of the technology that has been around in the past few days, maybe a few weeks, have you heard of Pokemon Go / are you playing it?
I've heard of it, but I haven't interacted with it. Is that the right phrase? Okay. I'm afraid I don't know what that is. Yeah.
Oh, I know. gonna pull up my app real quick.
Are there any Pokemons in here right now?
I'm gonna check right now.
Am I doing it right?
It even loads.
I sound like your grandfather. It's terrible. Like I don't understand this technology.
It's when like older people call it like the Facebook and stuff like that. Are you on the Facebook? My dad's finally on the Facebook. He loves the Facebook. I can't pull it up. I don't know. My phone's being a bitch. Yes, next question.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Hi, Tom and Zach. Zach, you sang happy birthday to me yesterday for my birthday, and I'm hoping Tom would do the same.
Is it your birthday today?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Well, technically.
Don't get greedy, girl. Don't get greedy. Next question.
Defer to the boss. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Caitlin.
Hi,
I was wondering what the last book you read for fun was, and if you could recommend one book, what would it be and why? Thank you and love you.
Thanks, Caitlin.
You're adorable.
Yeah.
Are you a Pokemon? I get you right now.
The last book I read was the last real satisfying book I read was Purity by Jonathan Franzen. Don't know if you've read that. Yeah. Anyway, it's fantastic. It's a very interesting book about our time. It follows the Purity is the name of the leading character. She's a 21-year-old called Purity, and everyone calls her Pip. And she's just trying to make her way in the world, and the world is difficult because it's sort of about the way we find identity in real life and on the internet, and how it's sort of it's confusing. It's a confusing new landscape to map out. It's a brilliant book about identity and the way we live now.
And so that's the last book you read, and that would be the one you would recommend too?
Oh yeah, I would recommend it. I think Franzen he's a genius brain, I think, and he writes about the contemporary world in a brilliant way. And he made me laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. And I got very moved towards the end. I could go into a long summary of this book.
Please, I already feel so uncultured. Please
No.
don't. This is the only downside of a Tom panel at HQ is I sit here and I go, I'm a putz. What the hell am I doing? Next question.
I'm going to go with you, ma'am.
What have you learned about yourself and the characters that you have played in your career?
Ooh.
I think I've learned that I've certainly learned that all of us contain more possibility than we are perhaps taught. That we have within us more potential for so many more things than contemporary society perhaps would allow for. Because all the characters I've played are me, but they're also not me, and yet within myself I've had to find the possibility of every one of those people, and really it just makes me feel more connected to people. It makes me feel like we're all actually made. That's, I believe, the power of cinema and theater and television is to connect people, and to unite us in our humanity. I think that when it's really truly great, that's what it can do. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yep, in the cat.
All right, this is going to be a very weird question. You could answer too, Zach. Being a SC...
When you start with that, continue.
Good. Seeing as though you two are actors and all that, you have to go out about your day. What is your favorite meal of the day? Breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
Ooh.
Breakfast, without question. I just wake up excited to eat it. I wake up and I'm ready for it. I'm like, get me that breakfast. Now.
I just had the most amazing visual of you just springing out of bed going, bacon and eggs, bacon and eggs, bacon and eggs, bacon and eggs.
And you get the fun of the decision you get to make about what you're going to have, whether you have porridge or scrambled eggs, whether you whether you go out and get it maybe.
You even make breakfast sound sexy and charming. What the fuck is happening? Good Lord.
I'm a breakfast guy.
You know what though? But see, that's like, for me, like I actually don't like the decision making of. I genuinely don't. If I could eat for the rest of my life, if food could be like in a pill, that I knew I got all my nutrients and everything. And by the way, and I love food, I really do. Like foodies, when I tell foodies this, they go, that's just blasphemy. Don't you appreciate great food?
That's just blasphemy. I'm sitting here thinking that. Like,
see?
Food in a pill.
Well, no, because the thing about it, I don't know. It's why I wear the same fucking clothes every day. Like I
wear the same clothes every day.
But because I don't, there's so many things that I feel like you spend a lot of time on. And by the way, food it can be a beautiful thing. And a lot of people, and sitting around with friends and family and eating and all that stuff, I get that. But also like my OCD brain, sometimes like the minute decisions that you have to make all day long, like I fritz. I'm like, I don't know, porridge or eggs, porridge, oh God, I don't know, what am I doing? Is there a right answer? Like, and that's what I do. I'm like, there's gotta be a right answer here, right? What does my body really need right now? Does it need porridge or does it need eggs? Don't fuck this up, Zach. That inner monologue goes on in my head. Anyway, so the point is, but I would say that my favorite meal, maybe breakfast, actually. I'm gonna have to defer to breakfast. I often.
I'm glad we cleared that up.
Yeah. I often will go to Starbucks and just grab me like a breakfast sandwich. Have you had the breakfast sandwiches at Starbucks? They're pretty darn good.
I had a breakfast sandwich this morning.
Fantastic.
Great.
By the way, I keep plugging all these companies that aren't paying me anything. I need to stop that. Starbucks. Yeah, go ahead.
Do you want to, you could pick.
Do you want me to do? Oh, I have the conch now. Who really wants it? Wow, hardly a change.
You can have it. Come on,
there you go.
You've had your hand up all this time.
Thank you so much for being here. We all really appreciate it. And I was at the Badass Women's panel last night. The best moment of my con.
Who was in the Badass Women's panel?
Whole bunch of badass women.
Whole bunch of badass. Amazing. I may have teared up a little bit. So my question for you is that a lot of people, when Thor came out, compared a lot of the themes to Hamlet. And I'm interested to hear if there are any themes in the new Thor that compare to any other Shakespeare plays, and maybe how Loki's journey has gotten him from this one to Thor Ragnarok, and how that fits into maybe your idea of what Shakespeare play would encompass it.
Yeah. Well, I think all of the Shakespearean influences came from Kenneth Branagh, because it was such a he is one of the preeminent, if not the preeminent Shakespearean of his generation, and yeah, shout out for Ken. And he discussed it with all of us. He talked to Chris Hemsworth about Henry V, about the journey of Prince Hal towards Henry V as a sort of wayward prince who becomes king. He talked to me about Edmund in King Lear and Iago and Cassius in Julius Caesar. I know he talked to Sir Anthony Hopkins about King Lear, and Shakespeare's plays. Those big dynastic tragedies are shot through with very intense, fraught relationships between fathers and sons, and often mothers and sons. But family is a central theme. Where Ragnarok fits into that, I don't know. I mean, I'm just thinking of the script as I answer this question.
No spoilers.
Yeah. Yes. Well, yes.
Yes is the answer. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. There's a kind of I'm clutching at straws here, but there's an interesting new dynamic through Kate Blanchett's character. But I'm going to leave you to make up your own mind about what Shakespeare play you think that resembles when you see it.
Do you know who Ken, when Ken was talking to Josh about Fandral, did he drop any Shakespearean? I'm not trying to be shitty. I actually genuinely want to know.
I don't. Maybe.
Like Mercutio, something like that.
Yeah, Mercutio was it? I'm sure Mercutio.
I'm good. I'm really good. I wasn't even there, and I knew.
Errol Flynn was more of the. You know, it was more the Errol Flynn thing. That was.
Yeah,
I think
totally.
that was the way.
Next question.
Let's go all the way to the back. Jurassic Park.
There's a dinosaur in here?
Hi, I'm Jillian.
Hi.
So happy to sort of meet you. I accidentally stood in the signings line before we found out we had tickets to this instead. So
You didn't know what tickets you had?
she had the tickets.
And you didn't tell her? That's kind of baller, actually.
So my question is, you've had the opportunity to work with a lot of different actors and directors already, wonderful actors and directors. Who are some actors and directors, producers, writers, what have you, that you haven't worked with yet that you would really like to?
I mean, this question is like, I love this question, and it's so tough because if I feel like I name them, then I kind of jinx it. Like, and I have a wish list that gets longer and longer with every year that passes, and there are new films that come out with new directors who are, 10 years younger than me and more cine-literate and just generally better human beings. There is, the great thing about the industry is it just keeps regenerating with more and more talent and more vision, with different ideas. And I find that's what's so thrilling is I've had some wonderful experiences with people who weren't making films when I began making them myself. And that's the most exciting thing, is that you keep learning from people that you had no idea you would. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I also understand the reluctance to want to actually name anybody, because I get that jinxing thing. It's like, because, there's really awesome, there's so many talented people in this business, and you get your hopes up too much and all of a sudden that doesn't work out. I mean, already there's directors that have either died or have retired since I've been an actor or other actors that I wanted to work with that have passed away, and I'm like, fuck, I'll never get that chance. That's a real bummer.
Yeah. So like people like Ben Wheatley, when I became an actor, he hadn't made any films before, but now he's like one of my favorite directors, and that's what I love about being an actor, is that you can, suddenly you're working with someone who perhaps you hadn't conceived you might be working with, and you really learn from them. It's great.
Thank you. I love you, by the way.
Yes, ma'am. Over there.
Yeah. Guys, really quick. Unfortunately, I'm being told this is our last question. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No
he is a very busy person. Sorry. Yes. It better be real good.
No pressure, right?
Yeah, no pressure.
Okay, thank you for coming back. Out of anybody you've ever worked with, who's your absolute favorite?
Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Hiddleston, everyone. Give that man your love. Give that man your love.
Guys, thank you so much. So nice to see you all, truly. Have a happy weekend, and Nerd HQ rocks.
Yeah. That's going viral, baby. That's going viral. Keep it going for Tom Hiddleston, everybody. Oh, squeeze that dude. You got. Bye. It is a confusing door. It's a confusing door. Was that fun? Awesome. I'm sorry he couldn't stay longer. I'm sorry. Are you guys okay? Everybody cool? No. No pressure. I know it's for the kids. I might. I might. If I can, you guys will know very, very soon. I gotta go back there. I gotta go hug that man one more time, because he's a really nice hugger. Don't be jelly. Okay. And then I'll figure that out, and we'll let you guys know. I definitely be doing at least one Smiles for Smiles tomorrow at some point, because a few of the panelists that we have tomorrow, like Steven and Jared, like those guys are cool. I don't need to be out here with them. Also, they smell really bad. But I'm gonna try and get one in tomorrow if I can't do today. I guess I don't really have anything else to say other than, oh, yes. What? Oh, I know, I'm coming right now. What? What is the blue ticket for? Oh, the auction? Oh, no, she just gave those to be auctioned. Yeah. So that's just a free blue ticket. I don't know. Keepsake. Guys, thank you, love you, bless you. Thank you for supporting us. Good night.